This match review today comes to us from HansonHauntz, who has 4.4k hours in the game of Dead by Daylight, so over quadruple the amount I expect people to be good at their macro and micro games, so I should be expecting some fairly quick chases, good patrol of the gens, and pressure of the whole map. You are playing the Xenomorph, which is the character I wrote the guide on and all that wonderful stuff, top 5, tail attacks, blah, 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 blah. All that wonderful stuff. So honestly, a character that I know a fair bit about. Good person to ask. They're also a fairly strong character. They're top of B, bottom of A, depending on who you ask. I think they're kind of like somewhere in between. If you're better than Xeno, you're probably A tier. If you're worse than Xeno, you're probably B tier. You're on Nostromo Wreckage, which is an okay map for them. It's like B tier. Like the map itself isn't too offensive. There's a lot of loops, like the table in the main building that you can shoot over. A lot of the rock loops out in the like the planet side of things you can shoot over. But the collision is kind of infamously bad on this map too. And if you have checked that guy that I just mentioned, one of the things that really hurts this character are maps with poor collision, because you with the tail attack have to weave in and around objects to hit survivors quickly and efficiently. But obviously if collision is inaccurate, that makes that fairly difficult. So yeah, it's an okay map. It's like okay-ish. It's like ish. Let's take a look at your add-ons here perks. So you got emergency helmet, which lowers the flame stagger of the flame turrets, and you also have self-destruct bolt, which is extra vault speed while in crawling mode, 30% to be exact. So these are great add-ons. Typically, if you want success on Xenomorph, you run one of 3 add-ons, doesn't matter which combo, that being emergency helmet, Lambert Star Map, or self-destruct bolt. Any combination of these works. You can do double turret, one of the turret add-ons, and then self-destruct bolt. Doesn't really matter. They're all great. They're all amazing add-ons. So you got that right. Looking at your build, I like the choice of Bamboozle to synergize with self-destruct bolt. Excellent choice. Pain res, obviously one of the just like the no matter how much they nerf it, change it, continues to be one of the best loadout in the game. So that's a good choice. Friends till the end and furtive chase is kind of like not a bad choice, but kind of an underwhelming choice. For a couple reasons. First off, Friends to the End is an info perk. It does do extra stuff like the expose and stuff like that, but it's mostly an info perk, which, you know, if you are unaware, Xenomorph has excellent base kit info in their tunnels, where you get 16 meters of footstep and sound reading and 12 meters of killer instinct when you pop out of a control station. So there's a lot of base kit info that can get you this information for like 3 or 4 extra seconds. So like it's on top of that, you have furtive chase, which synergizes well with Friends to the End. It is a great combo, but half of furtive chase is undetectable, which is not an incredibly powerful status effect on the Xenomorph, because the flame turrets come with 41 meters of tracking on you. That cannot be turned off in any way. It doesn't matter if it's oblivious, doesn't matter if it's undetectable. It just kind of like eats through it. So if the survivors are putting up the turrets, which they should be, then they're gonna know you're coming anyways. Not bad picks, but underwhelming picks with the Friends till the End furtive combo. So yeah, take a look at the game. I like your reshade for this map. It makes it look really cool. This is kind of loud. I've learned with match reviews it's better to like not drown, like have the game be quiet than me be loud. Because I've had the reverse and it's obnoxious to sound balance or audio balance. You're tracking this guy. I feel like I made it too quiet. Early first hit, there's no reason to tail attack there, so you just don't. Alright, be careful about aiming that low. You could have easily hit in the ground there. Make sure you're aiming center mass, so from like their butt. Whoa! Whoa! Why are we refreshing? What the heck? What the heck? What was that? YouTube! Don't interrupt my match review! I'm trying to help people right now. That's rude. Did you even look for your info on Friends to the End? I don't think I saw you do it. Also, you could have made that pain res. You didn't. Yeah, you could have made that pain res over there and you just like didn't take her to it. Okay. You don't really look for your friends to the end, either. So I'm already seeing, like, not getting the most out of your perks right away. They come to haunt you later. Yeah, you have Bam Bolt. Might as well just eat over. Hey, Future Sabrina. How's it going on me? Hey, how's your Monday? Okay. Don't like go through there. Yeah, he either has to W away or play the pally. She's W away, but the Stromo itself is not a fairly, like, good main building. Got this God ballad out here, but that's about it. Are we from the flu still? I'm sorry. That sucks. Make sure you're getting your vitamin C and drinking your water. Definitely don't be pushing yourself. Give yourself the rest you need. Yeah, I don't like the way you aim low. It's kind of scary. You've been getting lucky that you're not, like, bumping the floor. If you had pain resed earlier at the beginning of this match, that gen probably would have been delayed and you could have pressured it. You didn't. I would have kicked that before moving on, because that gen up there, it was being worked on by this guy. So for all you know, nobody else is working on it, so that's actually a perfect time to go dry kick. I would have kicked that first so it actually progressed. Dry kicking in general isn't, like, not worth doing at all. It's just, like, only worth it when you're sure there won't be, nice welcome to Wendy shot. The drive-through tech. As long as you're sure they won't come back. Chops the follow button. Hey, wicked. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. We're having a lovely Monday. We're doing a match review. There's somebody improved the game of Dead by Daylight, specifically at Xenomorph. I think, in all fairness, Friends to the End has like 13 effects. It's a very complicated perk. So if you like forgot to look for Lori there because you even forgot that was something it did, like, I don't necessarily hold it too much against you, because like it is kind of like a perk that does a lot, almost overcomplicatedly so. Dude, that's so bad. When people do it pre-chase, it like makes my blood boil. Because you're literally just giving the survivor a head start for no reason. Unless you have like eruption and they're injured, so you know when you continue that chase, you're gonna get like a regression event on that gen or something like that. That's like the only time I think I'm like, oh yeah, okay, well that kind of makes sense. Or you have like a full kick build. You have like brutal fire up at like 4 stacks, and it's gonna take you like half a second. Just dunk, and I'm like, okay, you're fine. Yeah, a lot of characters in the game aiming low is better. Like Pinhead, if you aim low and you miss, you recover like instantly. And there's a lot of characters like that in DBD, but Xenomorph is reversed. You aim center mass. They didn't heal Underhood. Smart. Main Wraith, it's pretty nice. Not a very complicated killer, but you can still do a lot, despite them not being too fairly complicated. Kind of like a very like plug-and-play kind of killer, which is really nice. Yeah, you should have just M1 there. There was no reason to tail talk him there. When you're doing a strafe through like the center of a tile like this, go from left to right, not right to left. Because what you did here by going right to left is you hit collision, so that's a great thing. But when you go right to left, you can't account for him dodging out to the left. But if you started on the left and then closed in towards the wall, then even if he fans left or stays centered, it doesn't matter. You hit either way. This is just a general thing with like Nemesis and Xenomorph when you're hitting somebody going down the side of a wall. Is start outside into the wall. Start outside into the wall. That's with both those characters. Any character that has a strafe. Go from outside into the wall. That way, even if they fan out, there's nothing they can do about it. Starting to be a long time in this chase. you start thinking about going somewhere else. Maybe hit him, take this pallet. Hit him and get the pallet? You're gonna continue the chase though? You don't even have him down yet. And this chase started. When did the mandibles start moving on? Well, hard to see because so you've already been chased with him for almost a full minute. Chases should only be 30 to 40 seconds, 50 tops. I need to stop aiming low. That's Monka. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now that you know that she has that, you gotta be on the lookout. There's no way to know beforehand. That's not on you. Now that you know, now you gotta anticipate it, but there was no way to know beforehand. Now I can check the lobby and see flashbang, you know. Honestly, the drive-by tech, or the drive-through tech, really good. But it's very risky. Usually you do that when you don't have the ability to just shut down the window instantly, which you do with Bam Bolt. So in the sake of consistency, like, for example, like you just went for this situation where you tried to go for like the drive-through tech where you like fake one way, come back, try to shoot her through the window. Realistically, the safer, more consistent way to do this, which would have actually gotten you the hit, is just vault the window, shut down the window, and then chase her around the edge and just tail attack where it's easy. It's not as flashy, not as cool. You mean that? You even tail attack you M1 as far as safer. You mean that? You mean that thing you just did? Imagine you did that the first time. No fun strats, imagine. I mean, like, I try to teach consistency on the match reviews. So we have, like, I'll tell, like, there was a match review recently that Celtic Bear submitted where they threw the whole game because they were going for, like, stylish shots. It's like, yeah, that's fun, but, like, I'm trying to teach you consistently, things that will consistently get the win. I'm not saying no stylish shots ever. Don't go for the Hail Mary stuff. But, like, do it when you're, like somebody's already dead, right? Do it when you already have an all-way advantage. See, this is you aiming low. Timeout, intervention, timeout. This is what I'm talking about. You aiming low is going to hurt you because here's a fun thing. I'm gonna help you here. If you look, the reason I don't use a dot crosshair because the Xenomorph's tail attack lands here, kind of like at the bottom of where that dot crosshair would be. The thing is, the tail attack is 14 centimeters around, so it's like kind of chonky. Kind of a chonky tail attack or chonky hitbox. So realistically, if you like aim mostly to the center, it's like you're not going to see a difference. It's going to be negligible because the hitbox is kind of big. But it does aim fairly low compared to where the center of the screen is if you're using a dot sight. So that's why when I was in the guide, I used the cross sight because that would account for that. But when you aim super low going over an object like that, not only is aiming low bad in general because you're going to hit the ground and go through their legs instead of just like actually hitting them, but you're also going to have in situations like that where if you're just barely going to get your tail attack over an object, it's going to just bonk instead because you're aiming low. Aiming low is just like something you should never do on this character. Aiming low over objects, aiming low over on survivors, just try to go as high as you can. As high as the shot will allow you to go while still getting it. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you know what I'm saying. Like, aiming low is bad. Aiming low bad. Get it? Good. I love what you think. As Horror would say, girl aim up. Hey, eat your veggies. I believe that says. Yeah, there's no reason to go for a tail attack there, so just hop her. Really mode. So you got somebody dead. That's your gens. That's good position. You know what my favorite Witcher-related memory with you is? I remember you named your PC Jerry of Rivia. Not Geralt of Rivia, Jerry of Rivia. And our mom was like, oh, somebody on our Wi-Fi. Who is this? I don't recognize this. I'm like, oh, that's my brother. That's just a pun. Yeah, he just named his PC a pun. That's my brother. Now, why do you do that? You like flick every single shot. It's so stressful. You don't have to do that. Hey Sylvie, how are you? How's your Mionde? Remind me of that Death Slayer discourse that's happening right now. where people do flicks that don't matter and everybody's like, why are you doing that? Stop it. I'm doing alright. Repairs started on my house today. They took out part of the drywall, so I'm pretty excited. They're gonna finish it in the next 2 days. You're shivering, he's cold. Get your Xeno Queen a blanket. This is a Valor stuff? Yeah, totally. It's not functional at all. It just looks neat. But also I think people are also taking it too seriously. Like, who cares? Let people be silly. Nice. Good job calling out the the juke there. I do like this because this forces them into, like, everybody on the team into one area. A lot of people would have just continued to chase Nancy there, but now the whole team has to come help. And there's only two people on the team, so having them all in one place is not ideal for their victory. This is definitely the right choice. Yeah. That's it, geegees. That's all she wrote. That's on my hand unblockable. Yeah, you get that, Mori. I won't. I'll show the Mori. Don't worry. It did be Mori Monday. Mori Monday. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's a Discord message. Hey, can you click that? Darn. Boring killer? Well, let's see. Who are you? Yeah, sprint, burst, finesse, DS, deja vu. There's not a thing on your build that's not meta. Shut up, Lori. Homie, we didn't even see you that game. You were like barely there, and you're gonna call boring on our homie Hanson? You're boring. Shut up. So tell him have a good night. Good. That's classy. That's not what I said. I told him to shut up. All right. So in terms of your main takeaways, first off, you need to aim center mass. You need to aim head down to the butt area. And when you're going over objects, keep in mind that your tail attack is a little lower than the center screen. Just barely. It's a little lower than the center screen. The fact that you're aiming really low not only hurts you on hitting survivors, but it also hurts you because you're going to be hitting a lot of collision that you're just barely trying to hit over because you're aiming so low. So stop aiming so low. That's going to help you a lot. Yeah. Second, you had a really, really long chase with Anatu there. Like, you definitely needed to disembark at a certain point, which was when he started going towards the shuttle, but you kept chasing. That chase ended up being pretty long. But keep in mind, chase is Dead by Daylight. 30 to 40 seconds, 50 max, whatever max is. But then you should think about leaving, but you committed to a really, really long chase, which is, you know, time on gens. Remember, match time is gen time. More time spent in chase means the 3 other guys are probably on gens. That's how the gens get done fairly quickly in that regard. Who's maxed and why is he like 50? Not being 50. No, apparently I'm close to that according to Pop. Spry 37. Oh yeah, the third one is that, like, you weren't really getting a lot of value out of your perks, or at least some of them, because, like, you weren't really going out of rate of people on pain reses. Like, you had the opportunity to, especially at the beginning, to hook that first survivor on a scourge hook, but you just hooked them at the closest hook, and then you would keep hooking people and then not looking at your friends till the end, which is, like, why run the perks if you're not going to try to get value out of them. I think that's really what hurt you. Like, honestly, like the long chase and not like throwing your tail tags efficiently like mattered a lot. That did hurt you a lot. But honestly, like if you had like an earlier pain res and like had better like macro pressure between the survivors, which you had info perk with friends till the end. You had the ability to, you know, instantly get into another chase, instantly get another chase, instantly get another chase, but you just kind of like weren't really paying attention to it. So like you ended up having to essentially search around for survivors normally, despite having a perk that doesn't. Oh. Okay, those would be my as to why that match was extremely close. Hopefully that helps.